It's okay to not meet other people's expectations of you. The power of our multidimensionality. I don't know if that's a real word, but we're gonna use it today. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so thankful y'all are here. I pray you can find home here, and if so, welcome. You are a multidimensional being. You're somebody that doesn't just exist in the 3D, whether that's emotionally, whether that's mentally. You're connected to your senses. You're connected to your hearing a little more than others. Maybe you can see things before they happen. Maybe you overhear conversations and it directly relates to something that you've been through in your life. You are multidimensional, and this is a superpower. This is something that was gifted to you as a child so that you may become more sensitive to the earth's frequencies, to people's emotions. And what this sensitivity does is it helps you to ground the unseen. Things that we haven't yet expressed before, ideas that we never thought of before, music that we never heard before, plays and books that we've never read before. Our purpose is to bring the unseen into the seen. So your ability to always be tapped in with the spiritual, with your senses, again, it's a gift. It's something that should be praised and prioritized. I've always wondered why I had this feeling of being different. Like, I've always felt this way. I am more introverted. I am more in tune with my empathy and being able to express myself authentically. Like, before I even knew about all these keywords and stuff we see here on YouTube, I always had this awareness that there's more than just what we see. There's more to this life than just what's happening in this very moment. And so it's given me a certain confidence, not only in myself, but in life, in the universe, in God, the Most High, in my higher self, to learn to make mistakes and know that I will be forgiven, and to know that the universe and God will support me in all the things that I'm meant to do here. So like, a lot of us are multidimensional and we're depressed, or we feel bad about ourselves because we don't fit in with other people, not realizing that being tapped in the way we're tapped in is what's going to bring us the people we're meant to be around. Us being tapped in with our authenticity, even if it kind of hurts because nobody around us at the moment understands, us being tapped in with who we are is what's going to bring us the people, the places, the things that's going to fulfill our hearts. But first, we have to let go of the old programming of how we think we should operate in society, of how other people may have told us we should act, or how we should think, or not be so sensitive, not be so serious all the time. Being able to attract people on your frequency requires you being comfortable in your frequency. A lot of us aren't comfortable with the fact that we're multidimensional, so we're constantly running away from our own frequency. We're constantly running away from, excuse me, I'm burping. We're constantly running away from our own authenticity. And trust me when I say, I understand that staying aligned with your authenticity is not easy, especially if you're somebody like me who deals with anxiety. But a lot of us have anxiety. A lot of us feel these negative emotions because we're still trying to run away from our authenticity. But when we learn to actually sit in that authenticity, in that uncomfortable, is that I don't think that's a real word. Once we learn how to sit in the discomfort of being ourselves, whatever that looks like in the moment, it allows us to remove the layers of what I should have been, how I should act, how I should feel, how I should talk, how I should express myself. We have to purge all of the shoulda, coulda, woulda, because that's what's keeping us back from really living how we want to live. Once we're able to actually tap into the power of our multidimensionality. I don't know if that's a real word, but we're gonna use it today. Once we learn how to tap into our power of being multidimensional, we'll also tap into the endless source that will provide, again, everything we need. Yes, the money, yes, the friends, yes, that car you want, yes, that beauty you desire, the body you desire. Everything that you can see yourself being is on the frequency of you accepting you, is on the frequency of you aligning with your authenticity. But again, if we're running from our authenticity, then how can we connect with the things that are for us, if that makes sense? You're a multidimensional being. It's time for you to accept your creativity. It's time for you to accept all the seasons that you go through in your life, in your journey of getting to know yourself, because the journey, it never ends. It never stops until you say, okay, I've had enough, or I don't want to try anymore. Like, you are the creator of your life. That is such a real statement, y'all. And it sounds so cliche, like, I'm the creator of my life. Okay, we co-create. Like, it sounds like buzzwords. I get it. But wherever you are right now is the perfect place to manifest what you want in your life. I don't care how bad of a situation you think you're in. I don't care how bad you think your job is, or what perspective you have of the world and all the injustice and crime and poverty and killing. You are in the perfect place to call in everything that's meant for you. But first, you have to see that. First, you have to understand that you are whole and you are worthy, because you're still on this earth, breathing, looking, watching this video. You're still alive. You still have life force energy within you. No matter how many times you failed, no matter how many times you've questioned your own worth, no matter how many times you've let yourself down because you didn't believe in yourself, you always have another chance to course correct. You always have another chance to tap into your creativity. You always have another chance to show up. So accepting that life is a constant cycle of learning, unlearning, making that mistake, failing ourselves in some way, learning from it, growing from it, prospering from it, making another mistake. Like, life is constantly this cycle of learning from mistakes, learning new things, failing ourselves, impressing ourselves, achieving goals. It's constantly going to happen. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how big of a celebrity somebody is, everybody is going through this constant cycle. So as we learn ourselves, as we learn from our mistakes, we eventually reap the benefits of aligning with that authentic introspection that we do when we make mistakes. What could I have done better? What was my responsibility that I didn't take? What was their responsibility that I felt like I was responsible for? You know, we have to learn when and how to give other people their responsibilities back so that we can take care of what's truly ours. A lot of us are stressed out. A lot of us are being ran to the ground, and we feel like life is unfair because we have this belief that it is up to us to maintain everybody else's happiness. A lot of us feel terrible and disconnected from our authenticity because we think that our purpose is to be convenient and to play small for other people. You think that it's your responsibility to make sure that nobody feels bad around you. You think that it's your responsibility to make sure that other people never feel insecure because of your light. That's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to make yourself so small, almost to the point where you completely disappear from the room, to make other people feel comfortable in whatever they have going on. As a woman that's just now learning how to be fully authentic, as a woman who's just now learning that I'm actually safe in expressing myself, how I express myself, I wasn't always this vocal. Even if y'all go to some of my old videos, like, you can see the gradual change of my energy, because I don't have my oldest videos on here, but when I first started, I felt like I just wanted to talk about something because I knew other people would resonate, or I knew that I had to get things off my heart but I wasn't confident really at all in what I had to say. I just knew that I was being called to speak on this platform. The confidence will come. The sureness, the being able to trust yourself wholeheartedly will come. It's not up to you to instantly believe in yourself or instantly trust yourself overnight, but you just have to show up. Show up not trusting yourself. Show up not knowing how that video will turn out. Show up not knowing how many people will view your video or like your video. Show up because it's something in your heart pulling you to do it. And that applies in every area of life, whether it's a certain job you feel like you should be going for, whether you feel like you should show up here on YouTube in some way, or you should reach out to that family member or that friend, or not. You know, your intuition will tell you everything you need to know, but you have to trust it. You have to keep your inner compass focused on what it is you want. So if you want to learn how to express yourself better, make sure you're always focused on outcomes that will help you express yourself better. It may come with fear. It may come with questioning or, should I do this? That hesitancy. But like, when you know your intentions, when you know what it is you want, it's easier to go for it when you know that this is what I want. When you can accept that this is my next step, this is what I want to achieve. So regardless of the emotions that may come with it, you're still focused on this is the direction I want to go. Again, you are multidimensional. You specialize in many areas. You aren't just one thing. You aren't just one dimension. You may be creative, but you also may be logical. You know, you may be a beautiful person, a kind spirit, but you also may be learning how to be more assertive and put people in their place. You may work a 9-to-5, but you also may be very passionate in your hobbies, passionate in what you do outside of work. You may be a great friend, a great family member, but you're also not scared to separate yourself when that's needed. You may be very confident when your need to isolate and take time for yourself comes up. Like, you don't have to be just one thing. You don't have to fit yourself into this one box. Like, you don't have to let people override your boundaries to be a genuinely kind person. And so that's what I think a lot of us are starting to learn right now, that it's okay to have multiple layers. It's okay to have boundaries in one room and a different set of boundaries in another. It's okay to not meet other people's expectations of you. It's okay to not fit into what everybody else thinks you should be or how everybody else thinks you should act. And if I'm looking down, y'all, I'm actually trying a new tool in order for me to get my brain and mouth connected, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of just like scribbling while I'm talking. Don't be afraid of confusing people, because being a multidimensional person can be really confusing to somebody who is okay with the mundane. Being a multidimensional person can come off very confusing to somebody who doesn't understand creativity or tapping into your senses and your God-given gift of seeing the unseen, or knowing what hasn't been said before, or seeing what's going to happen. You know, it's time for you to be comfortable in yourself, in your authenticity, in who you were brought on this earth to be, because you can't be anybody else, nor should you want to be anybody else. Because once you get what you think everybody else wants, or once you become what you think everybody else wants you to be, you will be so unhappy that you'll do anything to get back to your authentic self. So start today practicing being you. Don't be scared to take up space. Don't be scared to be a burden. Because a lot of us have been made to feel like a burden. A lot of us have been made to feel like we're too much. We're too much to handle. in one way or another, whether we're quiet and introverted or extroverted and bubbly, we've been made to feel like we're too much in some way. But you exceed the expectations of people who love your authenticity, who love you. You exceed the expectations of people who get you, of other multidimensional beings. You exceed the value and the worth that you think you have right now. You are so worthy. You don't even know how worthy you are. You don't even know how excited people will be to see you flow in your authenticity. And just because a few people don't like how you are when you're authentic, just because a few people reject you or talk about you when you're in your most authentic state, that isn't a sign to reject yourself. That isn't a sign to hide yourself. That's a sign that they aren't aligned to you, but now you can find people who are. Be happy when people reject you. Be happy when people show you that you aren't aligned to them. Because on the flip side, they could pretend to be like you. They could pretend to like you and pretend like they appreciate your authenticity, all to suck you in and then betray you. So be happy when people reject you from the start. Be happy when people show you who they are, because now that's energy that you don't have to waste. That's energy that you can put into finding other multidimensional beings like you. That's energy you can invest in you becoming more comfortable in your own body, in your own senses, in your own knowing of this is me and I am happy to be this. I am happy to be me. So if you made it to the end of this video, I am so thankful, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.